Going on, everybody? It's your boy Don Illuminati, back again today. You already know. Cast your cares aside, man. Lean not unto your own understanding, and trust the Lord, man. In all your ways, acknowledge Him. You know what I'm saying? And just remember another thing: you will heal at the end of the day. We go through a lot. We go through the trials, tribulations, and there's a lot of things that we either sometimes get ourselves into, or, before you know it, you're just in a certain circumstance that can affect you and hurt you in many ways. Mentally, spiritually, physically, financially. I need y'all to know, when you trust in the Lord and you keep continuing to put Him first and you stay obedient and you have the patience with the Most High, He's going to make sure He replenishes everything in your life. And it may be becoming replenished in the midst of disaster or destruction or heartbreak, worry, pain. Just because you can still feel that pain doesn't mean that you're not sitting in the midst of your blessing. That doesn't mean that the blessing is not showering you in the spiritual realm. You don't see it yet because you haven't manifested. The blessings have been manifested before you because God already got those things orchestrated in your path. Now you just got to walk into them. And it's almost easier said than done. But the only thing I can suggest to you is to just keep going, because eventually you will run into your blessing. If you're on the right road, if you're taking that right path, you know what I'm saying? That narrow path. Sometimes it may not seem like it's an easy route. And a lot of times it ain't. A lot of times it's not. It's a lot of endurance that comes with it. It's a lot of patience that you're going to need with it. You're going to have to be a person who initiates things, because you can no longer just sit there and let things sit on your mind without putting these things into action. You feel me? And I feel like a lot of us, we've been distracted. We've been torn down and demotivated from our progress, from the plan. The plan was not to demotivate you. The plan was to build you up for the success so that you know how to be able to handle it when it comes. So don't let the heartache and the pain discourage you or demotivate you out of the process, because that's a part of this process for some of y'all. You feel me? Life is not easy. Life is not easy. And the road is not easy as well. You feel me? And trying to live for the Most High, trying to stay on your 10 toes and trying to keep it together, keeping your P's and Q's together and all that. Sometimes it might seem like it's a lot, and you got everything being thrown at you left and right. Situations is turning up out of your control. And sometimes you get to a point where you feel like you can't handle it. And it's like, damn, when is enough? Because it seems like the universe is playing me like I'm some kind of robot, and it's just never enough. It doesn't ever satisfy the universe to see me satisfied or comfortable, happy. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like these are the hours in this season where we get to sit back and we get to marinate on certain things. Like how you were out there in that water and you was looking for something or somebody to save you because you couldn't no longer swim. You ain't had that much more energy. And before you know it, it's like you passed out right in the middle of the ocean. And when you woke up, you are on land and you don't know who got you there. The last thing you could remember was it was a terrible storm and the waves was overcoming you. And before you knew it, you woken up in safety. You was woken up to a shore, short for assurance that you were taken care of. That's why when the Bible says, and the Lord said He would never leave you nor forsake you. He ain't never leaving because He's always here. His Spirit's everywhere. But that forsaken part, don't ever feel forsaken because things get heavy. Spiritually, mentally, physically, financially. When these things happen, your best bet is to trust in the Most High, man. Because you ain't got nothing else to do. Before you go clogging your mind and trying to brainstorm how you can put all these things together, remember, the Lord already got everything under control. He already got everything set out for you, set aside. So if you humbly do your task and you continue to walk that road, you'll walk right into the prize. right? What it said, the prize of the mark or the higher calling, you'll walk right into your higher calling. The higher calling is waiting for you. It's there for you. You're moving in the midst of the higher calling sometimes and you don't even know it. Because like I said, a lot of them heartaches and pains, they're just a part of the process. And that means that you got to go through it. You got to, because it's building stability in you. It's building characteristics in you. It's building that solid foundation. It's building that trustworthy system that the Most High know that he knows what to trust you with and what he can't trust you with. So he builds you to a particular person that he needs you to be before he starts operating the way he really wants in your life and the way you might think you really want him to operate. But the thing is, he knows you better than you know yourself. So sometimes he don't just come through you when you want, but he will come through right on time. And you will be able to see how effective it was to be patient. It was to just follow suit, not to rush things. You know, that's why the Bible also says that patience is a virtue. Because if you begin to start rushing things and you want that instant gratification, you're telling the Most High that you deserve things and you get your rewards when you say it's time. But the reward is meant for a person who's built at a bigger statue than who you are now. And all the many things that we go through, it may seem like you're sinking, but you're actually elevating different levels in the spiritual realm. And you'll see that when once you walk into the blessings, once you walk into the manifestation. Little video cut there, ran out of space, had to delete some videos. But anyway, like I was saying, it's the manifestation part, man. You'll notice when you in it, because you'll see that your life is manifested amongst the things that are happening around you. So have no fear, man. It ain't the time to have fear about anything. No worries. You leave it all in the Lord's hands, man. Like, what else can we do out here? You feel me? Because nobody really got your back like he got your back. You know that. So we can't rely on other people. We can't rely on ourselves. You know, trying to do too much sometimes is getting in the Lord's way. Sometimes he wants you to sit down for a little bit so he can bless you, so he can show you that he's blessing you. So when you're trying to get out there and you're trying to get all these things functioning, you're trying to do everything right, and nothing's happening, why don't you take a little seat for a second and then see what happens? Because you know what I've realized? I realized that every time I do that and I sit back and say, you know what? I ain't got this. This is not in my control. Lord, you got it. You got all of it. And no longer am I going to try to keep putting my initiations in it, trying to do everything that I feel like I know what I can do. Because yes, it may work that way, but it may not be a season for it to work that way. Sometimes it might be a season to just sit back and chill. Because it's not always a season of blessings. Sometimes you got a season of tests as well. But in the midst of those tests, if you look around, can't you still realize that you're still blessed? That's what I be doing. I be realizing, man, in the hardest times is what reminds me, look, man, you really got a lot going for yourself. And the Most High has been looking out for you this whole time. You know? So how could you see it any other way right now? How could you be so in fear of what's to take place next? You should know what's getting ready to happen next. Is you sit, you chill, you let the storm pass over, and then you wait for the sun to come out to shine right on you. Why? Because you was the same person out there in the rain, right? All right then. So when the sun comes out, you ain't no longer getting rained on. You're going to get dried up, and then you're going to shine. Everything else that you've been through, you're watching it wash away. That's what we're supposed to be watching right now. We're supposed to be watching all of the things that has transpired through negativity, through evil, you know, manners of disrespect, and just a lot of things that are not natural to you, right? The things that we are expecting out of other people, because we know we good people. So when we put in good out in this world, we expect to get that back, and it don't always happen like that. As a matter of fact, sometimes you put in good and you do good for others, and you turn around and you get played, right? Even in the midst of those situations, I'm telling you, You don't have to bite your tongue, but you don't have to say anything either, because the Most High is watching everything. And the thing that he does, he hates ugly. So if these people are doing manners of evil to you, mind you, at the end of the day, it's still a test for you to get through that storm. But he's going to bless you at the end of the day. You don't worry about your blessings coming from these folks. Somebody owe you money and they tell you charge it to the game, or they tell you you beat. It's like, dog, no, I'm not. I can promise you, you beat. You beat me. You play me. You're gonna watch you plant the seed in the dirt. Then somebody's gonna nutrition it. They're gonna give it nutrition because it's gonna rain, and you're gonna be sitting there like, yeah, that's right. I got the best out of them. While you sitting there watching the person in the mud, while they sitting there watching you in the mud, right? Looking at all the things that they done did to you and pouring out all the manners of evil. Just so when the sun come out, they'll realize that they ain't been doing nothing but planting seeds in your life. And then when the seeds start to grow and it turns out to be success versus destruction, that's where that hate come into play. Because they don't really like that. Because they were counting on and betting on that they would be a part of your destruction when you went down. They'd be part of demotivating you when you don't succeed. As long as they feel like they got a part to play in that, they feel like they did their task for the day, but they ain't doing nothing. Because nothing that they can set out for, they will never succeed against you if they are ever playing against you. Remember, the Bible also says that what God has for you is for you. That means that if he blesses you with it, no man, no woman, no spirit or entity can take it away from you. And if he's telling you that he's taking care of your life, or he's showing you that he's taking care of your life, don't ever think that anybody can take that away from you, because the Most High has already bestowed it upon you. You see what I'm saying? So you can defend that. You could believe that. You could live on that. You got to receive it. You got to know. You got to understand. You got to really live this life. I've been living this life because of the fact I'm 41 now, but I've been doing my own business since I was 20 years old. All right. I had to have tremendous amount of faith with the Lord, with the Most High. Why? Because I don't work a 9-to-5. So all my bread comes in. I got to wait for a phone call for somebody on there to be money. So when things get slow, I'm looking at the phone ain't ringing. I'm like, all right, well, Lord, this bill's due in like 24 hours. I might be penny pinching right now. And then guess what happens? Ring, boom. See, that's how I live. I don't know what it's like to live a 9-to-5. I only know how I live to trust God, because I've been an entrepreneur pretty much all of my adult years. So this whole time, I had nothing better I could do besides trying to make it happen, because I am a doer. I don't just talk shit. I go out there and I do too. And I'm a smart nigga. But at the same time, when that phone ain't ringing, who you gonna make call? You see what I'm saying? Who are you gonna make call that phone? That phone gonna get busy out of nowhere. And it's gonna take care of my situation, as it's been doing for over 20 years now. Like I said, I've been living by faith, because that's how I live. I ain't got no other choice to live. As a matter of fact, I have less faith in going out here and working a 9-to-5, believing that that's going to do anything for me. I don't know, but it don't look like it could do what God's been doing for me. You understand what I'm saying? I would not be where I'm at if I was working a 9-to-5. So, you see what I'm saying? But then you got people out here that rely on a 9-to-5. That paycheck to paycheck. I don't do the paycheck to paycheck. I allow God to pour my blessing wherever the hell he feel like it. Setting myself in position for him to be able to make those moves when it's time for him to do so. So when things ain't going right, I don't get all crazy and scared. I'm like, look, Lord handling this. Why? Because he been handling it. Ain't nothing else I've ever done. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Becoming an entrepreneur with the Lord in spirit. Like, I don't live by this system. My every means of being taken care of for me is coming from the Most High himself. So I ain't got to worry about nothing, because in the spiritual realm to the physical realm, because of the fact that the Lord is with me, I'm extremely rich. Extremely rich. You got rich people out here physically who consider themselves extremely rich, but they're extremely poor when it comes to spirituality. When it comes to having that connection with the Lord, they have a poor connection with the Most High. So when they die, None of that money they made, none of that effort they put in, ain't none of that shit gonna save them. They could still lose and it not be replenished. You feel me? Whatever God takes away, he will replenish. And he might move it out of your foundation for a temporary period of time. But then when he places it back, he places it back as if it's a seed in your life that's already growing. And now it's just time for you to water it. That's where we're supposed to be at right now. The fact that we done been through so much. We done been through things that people put us through. Like I said, those things that we've been through, that's just the seed being planted. And then we went through the storm and we got drenched in the rain. We did, right? You felt all that. You felt everything that you was doing wasn't working out. So now the sun's coming out. So what do? We grow when the sun come out. We shine, we flourish, we blossom. That's what we do. And you don't notice the difference between a flower that's blossoming and a flower that ain't? Huh? One of them has been taken care of by somebody and one of them ain't been. Because it's season right now and we got some dead flowers out here and we got some beautiful blossom ones. Who's taking care of those beautiful blossom ones, y'all? You know who's taking care of me? I don't know. You may not consider me a beautiful blossom person. But the blessings that's bestowed upon me, it's beautiful. And nobody can take that away. You have no say-so on what it really looks like from my end. From my end. A celebrity in the spirit. That's what I am. Celebrity in the spirit. God calls on me. Will he call on you? Can he depend on you to be that person to initiate things when it's on his go? So he already stopped you. He want to let you know he could stop you at any given time. Anything you got going on, he could stop it. If you got anything going on, it best be from the Most High. Look, it's almost like we work for Tony Montana, a real boss, right? I don't care how far you are away from him. When he sets you out with the procedure and the blueprints to get certain things done out of his realm of things and his justification, his systematic things that he got in play, and you say that you're a part of that, okay, well, it's time for you to get organized with the outline. It's time to become a part of the plan. And a part of that plan ain't worry. A part of that plan is not fear. So, till next time, it's good chatting with y'all. It's your boy Don Killuminati. Love y'all. Peace. One love.